dusk in bloom for me and you.
Hello, this is Dr. Spindleilis, and I just wanted to take a moment out and tell you a little bit about a new set of books that Tree of Life Holistic Wellness Center has recently published. It's the Healing Naturally series, and it's a series currently of 4 books that covers a multitude of different topics on how you can help heal yourself at home. And hopefully that means you can have less of a need to use doctors in the future. There are 4 books. I'd like to take a couple of moments here, go over each one of those books. They are available as the Healing Naturally series by Dr. Arundel Spindleilis. It's available at Amazon, but we also have them physically at the clinic, and they are on sale if you buy them locally. All right, so real quickly, what are they? The first book I like to talk about is A Holistic Approach to Healing Lyme Disease. With this book, you are able to learn some of the healing protocols that help with working with this, what I would like to consider the new pandemic. The purpose of this book is to offer an alternative treatment for both acute and chronic Lyme disease. We are at Tree of Life Holistic Wellness Center. We're one of only 3 main Lyme literate clinics in this part of the United States, Western United States. And we are the only one that I'm aware of in this area, especially in Northern California, that treats Lyme disease holistically, not using antibiotics. And we have a 100% success rate here when the patient follows the program. So this very program is what is in the book, and we tell you how we do it, and this is how you might be able to do it yourself. To date, there are currently 300,000 new cases of Lyme reported in the United States each year. That is 6 times the reported new cases of HIV, 6 times more. All right, it is the new pandemic of the century. Sadly, most doctors today are either not Lyme literate or prefer to choose the conventional approach to treatment, which is simply symptomatic, using high doses of antibiotics, and most of them will tell you it really does not successfully cure Lyme disease. All right, this method has been proven to offer no cure for the disorder, and in the end, it usually bankrupts most patients because it is so incredibly expensive. I've had patients come in and tell me they've spent anywhere from $20,000 to $70,000 on conventional treatments for Lyme and found no cure for it. All right, this book will explain in detail the background of Lyme disease, the currently accepted conventional protocols, along with a treatment plan that we have developed here at Tree of Life that we've been using for over 20 years. And we'll also go into case histories, those who have followed this program and what their success has been like doing this. This is the program we use. This is something that you might want to be able to consider doing at home yourself. All right, so that's the one book, The Holistic Approach to Curing Lyme Disease. The second book we have out is The Complete Body Repair. This is meant to address many of the root causes of most of the chronic illnesses that are out there. Throughout my 20 years of practice, one of the most frustrating complaints I hear from new patients is the lack of a proper diagnosis. For most, they have spent years going from one doctor to another, sometimes trying both conventional and alternative methods, to no avail. They come to the clinic sad, angry, frustrated, and bitter at the medical community and have little hope remaining. This is a common attitude I'm faced with very often with treating patients at the clinic. All right, so they end up with a lot of frustration. They are getting away because unfortunately with most Western medicine, conventional medicine, with the United States and Canada and Europe and such, they are not, and I've had multiple MDs come up and talk to me and let me know that they are frustrated for the medical schools they went through because they're not taught to cure chronic disease. They may be taught how to treat it in a symptomatic way, but they do not know, and on the norm, how to cure it. And again, the sad thing is, and this is what we learned by going to naturopathic medical school, is we're taught to get to the root cause. If you don't get to the root cause, you won't be able to figure out how to help the patient cure the disease. And what we have found is that there are 3 main root causes for most conditions. That is candida, which is yeast and molds, funguses, parasites, and heavy metal toxicity. We have been treating these conditions for, as I said, 20 plus years at the clinic with great success, and we find that when we treat these main conditions, most of the time the patient will be very successful with alleviating or eliminating the initial presenting complaints. So this book called the Complete Body Repair. Teaches you about each and every one of these types of root causes, candida parasites and heavy metal toxicity, how to go get them tested yourself, what labs you can go to, how conventional and what the symptoms of them are, how conventional medicine treats them, and how we treat them, and how you can do it at home. Obviously, we always tell patients with any of these books, if this is life-threatening, you may need to consider seeing a professional medical provider. But otherwise, this can teach you how to take care of your chronic condition itself if you follow this and go by what the book gives for advice. All right, so again, this is an example of a book that teaches you how to treat the chronic issues in yourself and how to actually go get the lab work done. All right, so that is Complete Body Repair. Another book that I really enjoyed putting out here is Case Histories. And this one is Case Histories of the Successful Naturopathic Clinic. These are case histories that I have treated over the 20-odd years of practice from a wide variety, from boo-boo toes all the way to cancer. One of the things that we see most often with patients, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, is when they come in, they've already lost hope. They don't believe that such and such can be cured because they were told by their other healthcare providers, what you have is an incurable condition. All right, I absolutely abide by the adage that Dr. Christopher came up with, where he said there is no such thing as an incurable disease, only incurable people. And I have yet to find a disease or condition, issue, or complaint that cannot be cured if the patient is willing to follow the program. So this book, the Case Histories from a Successful Naturopathic Medical Center, gives a wide variety of conditions from minor all the way to very serious incurable conditions, and gives examples of how these patients were cured, the medical proof behind it with their lab work and such, as well as an overview of the protocols we did. So what this book is meant for is to give you hope that there is no such thing as an incurable disease. So that book is full of wonderful case histories: cancer, Lyme disease, multiple sclerosis, a patient whose foot was rotting off that would have been cut off at a hospital but was saved, and literally shows the pictures showing the foot healing and regrowing back. Those are the kind of stories, true stories with the medical proof that's in that book. All right, and the last book in the series for now is Holistic First Aid. I can say that while technology seems to have made lives easier, I would not say it has made them better. The case in point is the lack of knowledge these days in the proper care and feeding of emergency situations. There was a time when most folks had at least a rudimentary understanding of first aid care and could handle most situations on their own. Most families or villages had a skilled healer in the community who knew enough to intervene when an accident occurred. And sadly, though, this is not the case in today's world. Very few have even the basic knowledge of how to treat an open wound or a snake bite, let alone a broken bone or a heart attack or stroke. Hospitals are now overrun with emergencies that in the past would never even have required the attention of a doctor. A few years back, 4 separate hospitals, this was in the LA area, closed their doors in 1 year due to excessive use of the emergency room trauma centers. Patients who truly needed the ER would not be able to get treatment due to the lack of care, as the hospitals were overrun with non-life-threatening situations. According to theguardian.com, up to 150,000 people a year could be dying unnecessarily because first aid is not widely known anymore. All right, situations where first aid could potentially make a difference include suffocations due to blocked airways, which claim alone 2,500 lives every year, and heart attacks, which kill at least 29,000 every single year. In this book, we will learn about the natural treatment for such issues as burns, bleeding, both minor and major and more severe, various types of poisonings, broken bone aftercare, snake bites, immediate life-saving care for heart attacks or stroke victims, eye injuries, minor dental complaints, and so much more. With this book, you can learn how to treat your own emergencies in a holistic manner. We also go into discuss that where you might need to consider also going to an emergency room or something like that if this is too much this book can really be meant for those who don't have access to that kind of care, and how you can treat yourself in an emergency. I'll also, as in other books, I will also be giving case histories where these tools have been used successfully, both in our clinic, but also from patients who were taught these simple, historically proven techniques. All right, so those are the 4 books that are currently available. You can find them on Amazon under Dr. Arundel Spindalela's Healing Naturally book series, but we also have all 4 of them currently at the clinic, and they're on sale as long as you get them at the clinic in hardback and softcover. All right, well, there you go. I hope all of you have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Let me bring you songs from the woods to make you feel much better than you